Howdy, 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 folks. We have a very interesting ship to review today, the Anvil Valkyrie. Now, before we get into it, if you like what I'm doing, click that like button, tap subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. Alright, so the Anvil Valkyrie is a true dropship, armed to the teeth with large magazine, medium caliber laser repeaters that are bristling all over the ship. It is designed to get its payload of troops and equipment to a hotspot and to pull them back out again. Now, it does have some other uses, but we'll get to those later. It's available to purchase in-game at Astro Armada in Area 18 for 4,454,400 Alpha UEC. When last available on the RSI page, it retailed for $375 US. It boasts a stat line that would make any manufacturer proud. The Pancake, as it's known, has a great 44,053 hull HP, 18,000 shield HP, 443 pilot DPS, 3,484 total turret DPS, a very respectable SCM speed of 165 meters a second, and a great max speed of 1,100 meters per second. The only real gripe that I get is from solo players. Now, what solo players need a dropship for, I don't know, but yeah, the only real gripe I get is low pilot DPS. That's it. Upgraded shields can push it well over 20,000. The ship handles very well. It's got 20 thrusters that are spread evenly around the ship. But let's take a look at the ship. Now, there are 3 points of entry. Amidship on both sides are these jump doors, which can be accessed. You click right there. It can be kind of hard to see sometimes, but if you walk forward, you'll see that plate sitting there. That's actually the step. You just look at that. That's how you open it. I had this thing for probably a month before I found out about those. At the rear is, of course, the drop ramp, and one of the things that really makes this a premier dropship is the ramp speed, which is quite fast. I mean, it really just kind of drops down there really nice. You can also see at each corner are the large VTOL engines. Well, they're the standard engines and the VTOL engines, but that really makes getting in and out of places just a little bit quicker, which, once again, dropship, really important. All right, now in here we have the cargo hold. You know, yeah, there are bigger cargo ships, but that's not the primary focus of the ship. It still has 30 SCU of cargo capacity, which is nothing to sneeze at. There are some nice hidden features here as well. You can't see it. There's a plate right there where it says caution. Do not obstruct. Whoops. You hit that button and it'll pop that plate up. Gives you a way to keep from running your Cyclone into the front of the ship on accident. You can fit an assortment of ground vehicles in here, as well as some of the smallest snubs. Like, you can fit a P-52, P-72 in here. I brought the Ursa in just to kind of show, you know, you're not going to fit a Centurion or a Nova, mainly because of the deck height. But an Ursa is a pretty big ground vehicle. You know, you can definitely fit 2. I've seen people stack 4 Cyclones in here. I mean, there's a point to be like, okay, how many ground vehicles do we really need? But either way, it's just nice to know. The side doors, the little jump doors, have these ballistic Gatlings that you can deploy out to provide cover fire for troops that are dismounting. Additionally, by each of the doors, it's currently not functional, but there are lockers. There's 3 on each side. There's those. Now, down each of these hallways, there are 10 drop seats, 5 on each side, and there's 10 in both hallways for a total of 20. This front room is where you access the lower front turret. Let's get up the ladder. Alright, before we go up the ladder, I do want to mention that there's a slight, I don't know if it's a bug or what, but it seems like every other time I run to go up the ladder, it is going to drop me off of it. Now, I haven't been dropped out of the ship or anything catastrophic like that, but it can be annoying. Now, up the ladder, we have the crew habitation area. It's got 5 bunks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a small kitchenette, and actually a pretty large restroom. Toilet, shower, tiny little sink. It's just kind of surprising. Additionally, that seat right there is where you access the top turret. If we come down this hallway, on each side you will see turret seats as well, and they control the respective sides. It's like a little gimbaled size 3 Panther. And we come forward and we're at the cockpit. Now the cockpit is pretty straightforward. There's no real frills going on here. I'll show you the glass. The pilot gets decent glass. I mean, it's not the best in the world, but it's not bad at all. Really, the only negative is you can't see below you very well. There's a small window there, but it's not a lot of view. One of the other great things, though, is it has 6 MFDs. They're actually arrayed pretty well. I find that I like to be able to view at least 4, and I'll put 2 things, 1 on each side. I'll normally put like comms over here because I don't need to SIGI comms, especially if I'm in a fight. So it's just kind of nice to have those kinds of options. Alright, so what are the uses for the Valkyrie? So obviously it's a great ship for running bunkers or for staging large org, V-org, PvP, ground combat events. Boy, that was a mouthful. I should have written that different. Some other great uses are as a delivery mission runner. Now, it won't pay for itself with delivery mission proceeds alone, but you can run deliveries and also check stations for high-value cargo. 30 SCU is definitely enough to make a decent profit off of high-margin goods, and even if it is fully stacked with cargo, there is still plenty of space to place delivery boxes. I will say solo, it is not a good ship for ship bounty hunting. However, if all turrets are manned, it becomes in effect kind of like a miniature Hammerhead. Instead of rotating on its x-axis like a Hammerhead, you rotate on the y, and it keeps fire on the target the same. It also spreads that incoming damage around the shields. The only downside to this is that the shields are front-back and not quadrant style. The ship has a large, and I mean a very large cross-section, so avoiding missile fire can be pretty difficult at times. The stock components are all grade 3 military, but they are functional, and really the only thing worth changing is the shield and the quantum drive. The guns it comes with are all great at their intended role. They don't require any changes unless it's really a personal preference type thing. This was the first big ship that I ever rode in. I got knocked at a bunker. Some awesome guys picked me up and took me around the verse on my second day in the game, and I was fascinated by the ship, especially when I was comparing it to my free fly Aurora. And that fascination hasn't diminished. This is a great ship to own either in-game or pledge, and if you haven't tried one yet, I highly recommend you do. Alright, so this has been Eyes of Heimdall's review of the Anvil Valkyrie. Thank you all for watching. Remember, hit that like button, click subscribe, and tap the bell icon for notifications. We crossed 200 subscribers this morning, and I'm so grateful for all of your support. The comments, the likes, the subs, but most importantly, I'm grateful for your time. Get out there, folks, and conquer the stars, and I'll see you all out there in the verse.